Welcome to the Oasis. My name's Mike, and today I'm going to be giving you my predictions for OC6, because next week I'm going to be heading out to sunny California to attend Oculus Connect 6 myself. Now this event takes place on Wednesday the 25th and Thursday the 26th of September in San Jose. Now Oculus Connect, if you're not familiar with it, is a yearly event held by Oculus where they've previously announced new VR games and new VR hardware. And this will be the third time I've been to OC. It's an awesome event, I love going to it, because not only is it a great event for trying out exciting new VR tech, but it's also a great place to meet up with developers and like-minded people who share the same passion for virtual reality. I'm also looking forward to meeting up with some of my buddies and colleagues from the F Reality podcast. Nathy, Rowdy Guy, and Zimtok5 will also be there amongst many other VR creators. Now, if you can't make it to the event, don't worry, the keynote is live streamed on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can also watch the show in VR using Oculus venues. I've put a link in the description down below where you can sign up to view the live stream yourself. Now, each year before the event, I like to have a little bit of fun and make some predictions as to what I think will be announced at the event, and feel free to join in the comments down below. I'd love to know your suggestions. Just be aware that I've been known to get things completely wrong, so take these predictions with a huge grain of salt and let's just have some fun with it. I hope you guys and girls enjoy this one, and without further ado, let's dive in. So my first prediction for OC6 is during the keynote on Wednesday, we're likely going to get an update as to how well the Oculus Quest is performing. Now it's clear already that this headset is outpacing anything that we've seen from Oculus before, and I'm sure they're super proud of this and they're going to want to share some stats. Now I think we'll get some sales figures stating how many Quests have been sold since launch, and also figures in terms of software sales. Now we already know from many developers out there that have cross-platform games that their games are generally performing much better on the Oculus Quest. And to give you some of my sort of estimations, I estimate that the Quest has probably sold around 350,000 units to date, and that would be a sort of healthy number when taking into account the market size right now. I would also estimate in terms of software sales that it's going to be around the $20 million mark. I'd be super impressed if Oculus come out with higher numbers than that, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. My next predictions are about augmented reality and new hardware. Now this year the tagline for Oculus Connect 6 states, "This is where the next chapter for AR and VR begins." So my predictions around this is that Oculus will be adding some more AR functionality to both the Rift S and the Oculus Quest headsets by utilizing the pass-through camera modes. Now we already have some AR functionality in those headsets. When you put the headset on and the pass-through mode is activated and you look for your controllers, you'll see an AR sort of representation. Now don't get me wrong, I don't think we'll get a full AR experience using these headsets due to the limited quality of the pass-through cameras, but I do think they could add some more interesting functionality and possibly even individual finger tracking using the pass-through cameras. Now alongside this, I think they'll tease us with a new headset, but I don't think it's going to be released for some time, and I think this headset will be capable of delivering both a quality AR and VR experience in a single headset. Again, I think it's going to be utilizing a pass-through mode for the AR functionality, but this time it will be a full color stereo pass-through mode instead. I'd be super surprised if Oculus announce a dedicated AR headset and add that to the Oculus lineup to compete with Magic Leap and HoloLens. I do think they'll release a dedicated AR headset eventually in the future, but just not now. So although we may see something teased for release in the distant future, and possibly we might even get to try it at the event early, I don't think that we'll get a new Rift or a new Quest released for at least another year yet. Now the reason why I think that is because the biggest issue right now, in my opinion, isn't the hardware. The hardware is plenty good enough, and we have so much choice in terms of headsets available on the market right now that you could choose a headset that roughly suits your needs. But what we really need more than anything else right now is compelling content to keep us in those headsets that we've already got. So I think the focus of this event will be mainly on the games, and I think this is where Oculus can really shine, as they're working with partners to develop some great VR titles, and this leads me nicely onto Respawn. Way back at Oculus Connect 4, Oculus announced that they're working in collaboration with Respawn Entertainment to develop a groundbreaking first-person VR shooter. Now, Respawn Entertainment are the team behind the awesome Titanfall series and Apex Legends, and it's been confirmed that we'll actually get to play their new VR game next week, which I'm super excited about. Now, we still don't know what the game is called or the setting that this game takes place in, but when I went back to the original trailer, they dropped a few hints in there, so let's have a quick look at the clips from the teaser and see what they have to say.
War and combat have been part of human civilization since the beginning. People have a fascination for what it must be like.
Putting your life on the line for something bigger is a universal appeal.
At Respawn, it's about creating an authentic experience.
We really want to depict being a soldier in combat in a more fully fleshed out and realistic way.
A combat experience in VR really gives you the chance to experience life closer to what a soldier would experience in real combat. It gives you more of that feeling of paranoia and that tension.
Fear and adrenaline and anger.
It's more visceral, it's more terrifying.
VR puts you into those situations so you can start imagining a small part of what it must be like.
Right now, we're just getting started. The drive to create this new VR experience was so great that it was a natural fit for us to partner with Oculus. They believe in the vision. They believe in what we're doing.
We won't be satisfied until we're working on a game that is going to have an impact on the industry.
I think together we're going to make.
Now, from looking back at this teaser, it sounds to me that they're aiming for a more realistic and grounded VR experience, which I'm totally down for. But I doubt they're going to go for a modern day shooter, as that brings with it some controversy. Just look at the heat that Modern Warfare is getting right now, and it's probably a bit too political for an Oculus funded title, so I think they're going to steer away from the modern day setting, and I think it's going to be more likely to be set in a World War I or World War II setting. Now, I highly doubt it's going to be anything to do with Apex Legends or the Titanfall series, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. I also think that this title is going to be pushing the boundaries in terms of what's going to be possible in a VR game in terms of graphics and scale, so don't expect this one to be coming out on the Oculus Quest. I think this is going to be a Rift exclusive title. But not wanting to leave the Quest owners out, my next prediction is of course about the Quest. Now, since the Quest launch, we've seen many people sideloading third-party apps to stream content from Steam VR on their PCs wirelessly to their Quests. Now, having tried this myself, it works surprisingly well, providing a decent VR experience with acceptable latency when using a 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection. Now, I'm sure Oculus are taking note of this, and I would imagine Oculus are seeing an opportunity here to open up the Rift store to Quest owners who have a VR-capable PC. So my prediction is that at Oculus Connect, they will release an official app for the Quest to allow them to play Oculus Rift titles from the Oculus Store on their Oculus Quests, wirelessly streaming the content from their PCs. Now, of course, you'll still need a VR-capable PC to run the games initially, but you would have the bonus of having the tetherless experience that the Quest can offer. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. Of course, if you don't have a PC capable of running Rift games or a 5 GHz Wi-Fi connection, then don't worry, as I'm sure there's going to be plenty of new Quest games that are going to be announced at the show. Hopefully we'll hear more about The Climb, as that game was originally teased last year at OC5, and since then we've heard nothing from the team at Crytek, so hopefully we hear more about that one. I'd also love for Minecraft to be announced for the Quest, as this is one of John Carmack's favourite titles, and it was originally released back on the Gear VR, but skipped the Go and the Quest. A true VR version of Minecraft, utilising 6 Degrees of Freedom controllers, would be epic, and I'm sure it would drive a whole new audience to the Oculus platform. Now, during Oculus Connect 6, there's going to be a talk on mixed reality capture for the Oculus Quest, so expect the tools to be released for content creators to capture their own Oculus Quest mixed reality videos, which I think is totally awesome, as mixed reality can really show off to a new audience what VR has to offer. But just don't expect it to be easy though. You'll still need a green screen and you'll still need a PC to pull it off. I'm also hoping that we get to see some more local multiplayer Quest demos, as that was one of the coolest things on the show floor last year at OC5 when they had this huge dead and buried arena experience. And that allowed 6 players to battle it out in VR in an arena setting. It was just so awesome. Maybe we'll get to demo the recently teased Space Pirate Arena. That demo looks incredible, so fingers crossed that's on the show floor. Alongside this, also expect to hear more about Population 1, which is the cross-platform battle royale game from Big Box VR, Vader Immortal Episode 2, Echo Arena, and Beat Saber's 360 mode. Maybe we'll even hear about Beat Saber's long-awaited multiplayer mode. Fingers crossed. Now let's move on to games for the Rift and the Rift S, and I'm sure again we'll hear about some new and exciting games announced at the show, along with some release dates for games that we're really excited about, such as Stormland and Asgard's Wrath, both of which I believe will be releasing this fall. We'll also likely be able to get our hands on Lone Echo 2, which will be releasing in early 2020. Very much looking forward to that game. Hopefully we'll also get an early peek at Ubisoft's new VR title, which is rumored to be either Assassin's Creed or Splinter Cell. Let me know which one you'd prefer in the comments down below. I think a Splinter Cell in VR would be totally amazing. My dream announcement for the show would be for one of my favorite games to get a sequel, and that is Superhot. I'd love there to be a Superhot 2 announced. If there was a dream game that you would love to have a sequel or to be announced at the show, let me know what it would be in the comments down below. Alongside these new games for the Rift, I'm also hoping for an official audio accessory for the Rift S, as that was one of the biggest disappointments of the system for me and many others. A clip-on design, something similar to the Bionic Mantis PSVR clip-on headphones that I've been using for the past few months, would be a great option. And my final prediction is that Oculus rooms will finally be getting parity across all Oculus platforms. Now, Oculus Rooms was originally released on the Oculus Go, and it was an amazing social experience. You could customize your own room and invite up to 3 of your friends over, either just to hang out, watch clips from Facebook, or play board games together like Monopoly Go and Boggle. It was such a cool experience. Now, I was surprised that this didn't get launched on the Oculus Quest, so my guess is that they've been polishing this up and adding to this experience behind the scenes, and they'll finally unveil this at OC6 to work across all the platforms. But let me know, again, what you think in the comments. Okay, so there we have it, guys and girls. They're my predictions for what's going to be announced at Oculus Connect 6. Now, I'm going to be attending the show for 2 days and then heading up to San Francisco, and I'll try and upload as much content as I can whilst at the show to keep you all updated. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, where I'm going to be posting regularly direct from the show floor, and that's where you're going to get the latest up-to-date news. Let me know what you think of my predictions in the comments down below, and feel free to share your own predictions. I'd love to know what you guys and girls think is going to be announced at the event. Leave a like if you liked the video, make sure you're subscribed for all my future content, and as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.